What if I told you that the deadliest war in American history was fought not against a foreign enemy, but between Americans themselves? A war where brother fought against brother. A war that claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. A war that would determine the future of the United States forever. The year was 1861. For decades, tensions had been growing across America. The northern states were rapidly industrializing, building factories, railroads, and cities. Meanwhile, the southern states depended heavily on agriculture and the labor of enslaved people. As the nation expanded westward, one question divided Americans more than any other. Would slavery continue to spread, or would it come to an end? Political debates became louder. Communities became divided. Families found themselves on opposite sides of the same argument. Then, in 1860, everything changed. A lawyer from Illinois named Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States. To many people in the North, Lincoln represented hope and a stronger future for the nation. But in the South, many feared that his presidency would threaten their way of life. Within weeks of Lincoln's election, several southern states announced that they would leave the Union. The United States was no longer united. A new nation called the Confederate States of America was formed, and soon the country stood on the edge of war. No one knew how devastating the coming conflict would become. No one imagined the enormous human cost that lay ahead. But in April of 1861, the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter. The American Civil War had begun. And America would never be the same again.
By the year 1860, the United States was a nation growing at an incredible pace. New cities were rising. Railroads stretched across the land. Industries were expanding rapidly. But beneath this progress, a deep division was tearing the country apart. The northern states and the southern states had developed very different economies and ways of life. In the North, factories, businesses, and industry drove economic growth. Millions of immigrants arrived seeking new opportunities. Cities became larger and more modern every year. In the South, agriculture remained the foundation of the economy. Vast plantations produced cotton, tobacco, and other valuable crops. Much of this system depended on the labor of enslaved African Americans. As America expanded westward, a critical question emerged. Would slavery be allowed in the new territories? The debate quickly became one of the most controversial issues in American history. Political leaders argued fiercely. Newspapers fueled public anger. Communities became increasingly divided. Many Northerners believed slavery should eventually end. Many Southerners believed their economic future depended upon it. Year after year, tensions continued to rise. The nation was moving closer and closer to a breaking point. Few people realized how soon that moment would arrive.